Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Leon County Today. Sheriff Walt McNeil.
Oh, I'm so happy. Thank you, Shonda, for us kicking this off. Leon County Today, Leon County Sheriff's Office.
Absolutely. It's a great opportunity for us to talk to the citizens out in our community about all of the different things that are happening in our community. Public safety is a big topic.
Well, obviously, we are very concerned about making sure we keep our community safe, and our deputies and our partners all across Leon County are all working together to keep our crime rate down. And we've got some significant initiatives we've started that are moving in the right direction. We just always need our citizens informed. That's what this show is about, informing our citizens in terms of what's going on and how they can too engage in terms of how we drive crime down in our community.
That's right. We like to say all in at the Leon County Sheriff's Office, and really that's a mantra that has stuck throughout our community, and people are taking ownership.
Well, and I'm happy to hear that, in large part because we know that most of the crime committed in our community are break-ins or burglaries of cars. Mm-hmm. And if we can make a dent in that one type of crime, yes, we can start to move our crime rate significantly in the other direction. But we need our citizens always engaged, and that's why our All-In initiative is so important to us, that citizens acting with their law enforcement partners can be that catalyst that drives crime down in our community. And at the end of the day, we're talking about making Tallahassee, Leon County the best place in the world to work, live, and play.
Absolutely. We love this city and this town, and so being able to talk about all of those initiatives is a great opportunity here on this show. We'll do it once a week here in the mornings, bright and early.
Bright and early.
6:30 a.m. But I want to also talk about another concept for this show, because we're going to talk about public safety, crime, law enforcement, but we want to bring in some of our community partners to share their stories as well.
Yeah, that's what the All-In's all about. One of the things we know is that, particularly when it comes to juvenile crime, if there are organizations out there that are doing mentoring programs, we want to bring them on the show and talk about what they're doing, what kind of impact, so that other people in our community can emulate what they're doing. If there are groups out there that are dealing with mental health issues, mm-hmm. I know we've got the Appalachian Mental Health Facility that works with us around the clock, quite honestly, trying to deal with mental health issues. But if there are others out there, we want to bring them on this show, showcase what they're doing in that partnership they have with the Leon County Sheriff's Office and other law enforcement partners, so we can all fight to drive down crime in our community.
Well, and that is, I want to go back to the whole mental health component, because that's one of those things that people don't realize how much of an impact that has on our recidivism rate and our detention facility in general.
Yes, about 40% of the people we have incarcerated in our detention facility have mental health issues. And not only that, but there are about 2,000 persons that come back in our community from prison each and every year that are involved in crime if we don't have interventions with those folks when they come back. So our efforts in terms of mental health and our efforts in terms of recidivism are important to us, but important to our entire community. And that's where we like to get our citizens engaged. And that's what this show is again about, how we can join together, focus on how we can fight crime and drive the crime out of our community.
All right, and so that's what Leon County Today is all about. We're going to be talking about these important topics, but we like a little entertainment value too, Sheriff.
Oh,
we
yeah.
can't just sit here and, so we're going to get really creative with bringing some of these organizations in and how they present their messages.
Yes, and quite honestly, that's really important, that mm-hmm. The face of crime sometimes has a chilling effect across our community. Mm-hmm. And if we can get together and have some fun while we're talking about something that's near and dear to all of our hearts.
Absolutely. So that's kind of the landscape when it comes to Leon County Today and talking to citizens in our community. How vital is it for us to have a platform like this?
Well, this is absolutely important. One of the things we have to do is tell the story that citizens would want to hear about what their law enforcement officers are doing, what their deputies are doing in our community. And the best way to do that is for us to tell it ourselves. When we'll have deputies come on the show and talk about our K-9 unit. Mm-hmm. We'll have our aviation unit here to talk about how we, in terms of our helicopters, get out there and assist not only the Leon County Sheriff's Office, but assist law enforcement officers and entities all across our community in how we drive crime down. And we can tell that story better than anybody else can.
Absolutely. I've been at the Sheriff's Office for 3 years now, and it's just remarkable, all of the moving parts and so many things that citizens in our community may not even be aware of that is under that umbrella.
We're also building a drone program that's coming up here shortly. In the next year or so, we'll have drones out there in our community. Mm-hmm. And we want to educate our community about that new application We don't want people thinking that we're spying on them or looking
Right.
in their homes and that sort of thing. And that's what this program will be about, educating our community, getting that feedback, showing the community exactly what we're doing and why we're doing it, so when they see it, they're not surprised.
Absolutely. Well, Sheriff, you mentioned earlier those vehicle burglaries. We're going to really delve into that topic. You've heard us talk about lock it or lose it. What is that concept all about? Why is it so important? We'll talk about it next.
Florida Disabled Outdoors Association invites the community to the 30th Annual Sportsability, April 2nd through the 4th. People of all abilities experience accessible and inclusive indoor and outdoor recreation, water sports, nature, arts, music, and more. Sportsability is free for all ages and all abilities. Everyone is invited and welcome at the 30th Annual Sportsability.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join. I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture. It helped me get my job, it helped me pay for my house. Being part-time really helped because I could have some opportunities that were still in education.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices.
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Welcome back to Leon County Today with Sheriff Walt McNeil. Our new show here with partnering with Fox 49 and the Leon County Sheriff's Office.
Well, we're excited about this new adventure for the Leon County Sheriff's Office, getting the message out to our community about what we're doing in the Leon County Sheriff's Office, how we fight crime in an all-in environment where our citizens engage with us.
Absolutely. Every Tuesday morning we'll be here. And right now we want to really delve into a topic that's really important when it comes to the fight against crime in our community. I want to start with a stat here, Sheriff. So the year 2019, the Leon County Sheriff's Office responded to 427 vehicle burglaries. Of those, 372, that's 87%,
Wow.
were unlocked vehicles.
Yeah. That's, in terms of our crime rate, that is one area we know it can improve. If we can simply drive those numbers down, the number of persons who often leave their cars unlocked or leave valuables in the car where persons passing by, just walking down the sidewalk, it becomes very tempting for particularly kids who are sometimes find themselves in impoverished situations.
Right.
And they kind of sometimes get into communities and just simply walk those communities and see what kind of opportunities for crime avails themselves. So if we can really hit that number, if we can start driving that number down, we believe we can decrease our crime rate in Tallahassee by double numbers. And that's important to us. If we can drive that crime rate down, that sends a message. You know, one of the things about crime is that it impacts the entire community. It impacts the number of people who are moving into our community. It impacts businesses.
Right.
So all of us pitching in together to do something as simple as locking our doors
Right.
and making sure we take our purses and our wallets and our valuables out of the cars at night really is going to help us drive down the crime.
Yeah, it's such a simple thing to do. Most of us have those remotes on our keychain right now, and you just click that button. But it makes a big difference because, you know, and a lot of times you're hard pressed to find somebody in our community who hasn't had this happen to them
Yes.
or knows someone.
Right.
And it's usually, oh, I forgot tonight, but we got to be diligent in that process.
Well, that's why it's so important, Shonda, that you guys and your team came up with the 9 o'clock, lock your doors, lock your cars, just to get that message out. And quite honestly, I think that's resonating across the community. As I walk in and talk to citizens across our community, almost invariably somebody will bring up 9 o'clock, lock your cars, lock your doors. The only problem is we're not doing it as much as we need to. We got to do
Absolutely.
more of that. And we got to keep getting that message out. please tell your staff to keep working on that.
Yes, sir.
Because it's working.
We definitely will do that. And so one of the other things we want to talk about when it comes to locking those vehicles is removing the valuables.
Yes.
Here's probably the most alarming stat out of all of this, Sheriff, is that during the year 2019, between the Sheriff's Office and the Tallahassee Police Department, of those vehicles that were broken into, 232 firearms stolen.
Yeah, that goes directly to our violent crime issues we have in our community. Unfortunately, many times those weapons find their way to those persons involved in crime in our community, people involved in drug sales and that sort of thing. 90% of the time, the people who have drugs, who are committing crimes with drugs, they don't go out and buy those themselves.
Right.
What they do is take the opportunity to break in somebody's house or break in their cars. In this case, they're breaking in the cars and stealing those weapons, and then they're showing up in other crimes that are committed in our community. And again, we're simply asking our citizens to join with us in our all-in effort. And one of those things they can do is take those guns out of their vehicles, take them into their homes, lock them. We would also expect that they would lock those in a safe or a lock box,
Right.
so that their kids don't get to them or others don't get to them in their community. Unfortunately, all across America, we're seeing too many persons involved in accidental shootings where
Right.
guns are misplaced and put in wrong places and kids get a hold of them. So there's also that element of it, why it's so important to take those guns out of the vehicles.
Right, responsible gun ownership definitely important. So we want to keep reminding our citizens to lock it or lose it. You know, it's an easy thing to do, but it's a very important thing to remember.
Oh, absolutely. I like that rhyme too, lock it or lose it. It resonates, and hopefully our citizens will resonate with that and start to do what we're asking them to do.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Sheriff. Well, coming up after the break, we're going to meet our new public information officer, find a little bit more about him. He's a face you'll see a lot in our community. Stay tuned.
Every year, the Salvation Army serves nearly 30 million people in need. That's one person every second. So by the time you've finished watching this, 30 more lives will have been changed for good. All thanks to your donations.
Thank you.
Give today.
Come on! Go, Diane! Yeah, keep it going! Yeah! Go, honey!
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane! Woo! You got this!
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. Beware of telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you. Callers threatening you with arrest or other legal action and demanding money are not from us. If you receive a call like this, hang up, do not provide them with any form of payment or information. Report the call at oig.ssa.gov.
Welcome back to Leon County Today with Leon County Sheriff Walt McNeil. And we just brought in our new public information
Yes.
officer, Deputy Shade McMillan.
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome to the desk.
I'm glad to be here. Glad to be here. It feels comfortable.
Well, so for folks who might not know what that public information officer role means, it means he will be the face you'll see a lot in our community when it comes to talking to the media and the public about our mission and vision. It's a crucial role, right,
Well,
Sheriff
Shade
McNeil?
is a part of my staff, and that means that he's the voice of the sheriff when he's out there in the community talking about the various issues that are going on. Primarily from a law enforcement perspective, he will be the person that releases the information to the media about ongoing types of crimes and that sort of thing. And he'll do the morning shows and those kind of things, talking about traffic. And we're just happy to have Shade on board. a great addition to our staff, and we're excited about all the great things he's going to do for us.
Right, so we want our community to get to know you a little bit, Shade, and let's talk a little bit about your background. You're certainly not new to the Sheriff's Office.
Shonda, I'm not new. I'm a 13-year veteran of the Sheriff's Office. I started in 2007. I've worked on uniform patrol. I've actually been a school resource deputy for about 4 years, worked in Fairview Middle School and Deer Lake Middle School, after which I transitioned into investigations. While I was in investigations, I worked in property crime, financial crime, and ended my tenure in investigations in violent crime.
All right, so well-rounded career so far.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what we need. We need somebody with all that experience from various parts of the Sheriff's Office that then can relate both to the deputies internally and out to the public. And Shade's a perfect fit.
He is a perfect fit.
Thank you, Sheriff.
He's been very involved in a lot of our community outreach already, so definitely a natural fit. Now, you've been doing this role for a few weeks now, so what do you think so far?
Sean, I love it. When I was thinking about this position, I thought to myself, what's the best way for me to get reconnected back with the community, and what better way than to be, like you said earlier, the face of the agency. I'm not shy to anyone. My mom's always told me I never met a stranger, and I've kind of brought that to this position. I'm hoping to broaden my horizons with meeting everyone else in the community and being a part of our All In initiative.
Awesome. Well, good stuff there, and we're going to make sure we keep him busy, right, Sheriff?
Absolutely.
I'm ready.
Yeah, the face of the agency. Now, that's the sheriff, actually, but we understand what you're talking about.
Right, you're moving into other territory there now. Well, thank you so much, Shade, and we're looking forward to hearing more from you. And you're going to be an integral part of this Leon County Today show. We're going to have you meeting some of the folks in our community as well. Are you excited about bringing in some of those community groups?
Yes, ma'am. The neat thing is that I have been a part of this unit for about 3 years. I was part of the patrol stroll for 2, and through those partnerships I've gained a lot of contacts with a lot of the community partners that we have, and I'm looking forward to branching out and bringing those guys on with us for this venture into this new world we're going into.
Right, and for those folks out there who might not know what the patrol stroll is, that is our big law enforcement fashion show that we started a few years ago.
Yes, and Shade was one of the stars of that fashion show.
Infamous stars.
Our top fundraiser our first year for the patrol stroll. So, and giving back to such a great cause, you know, the American Cancer Society, it was really a great opportunity to interact with citizens and to see those survivors at the end of the runway. That was really memorable.
Yeah, it was quite the feeling after doing that type of event and seeing the faces at the end of the runway. That was very rewarding in itself.
Right. That's something we've really made a point of doing, Sheriff, is getting out in our community and doing some really innovative things when it comes to connecting with the community.
Oh, absolutely. We've taken community policing to another level in terms of how we interact and how we're involved. And it's often said it takes a village, and it does. It takes a village of all of us working together, and that's what I'm so proud about the Leon County Sheriff's Office. We embrace that completely.
All right, well, we're certainly all in for sure. Well, coming up, speaking of all in, we're going to go behind the scenes with our aviation unit.
All right.
Those eyes in the sky. Stay tuned, that's next.
Why? Why do we ignore the things that give us pause, that seem out of place, that don't feel right? The answer to why defines who we are. So if you see something, why do you say something?
I see safe for my friends.
For my community.
For my family.
For each other. Because all of this matters. We all have something worth protecting. So why do you see safe? Report suspicious activity to local authorities. If you see something, say something.
Do you know what to do if you're stuck on the railroad crossing? Get out of your vehicle. If a train is not approaching, find the blue and white emergency notification system sign on the traffic signs at the crossing. For help, call the number on the sign and give them the crossing number so they know your location and can alert train traffic. Remember, find the blue and white to save your life.
Before you throw away those unused medicines,
those pills for your back pain or migraines,
just think for a minute. When you throw them in the trash, they can become lethal in the wrong hands. There are better ways to dispose of your unused meds.
there are lots of police stations, local pharmacies, and hospitals that are approved to take in unused meds
and dispose of them safely so they don't end up in the wrong hands. Our hands.
To find a medicine disposal site near you, visit www.safe.pharmacy.
I drive 65,000 miles each year in my bus. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. You don't want to be in the blind spot of a 40,000-pound bus when I have less than a second to react. I do what I can by changing lanes and taking turns slowly. It really helps when people look out for me too. Give me room to operate safely. It's our roads, it's our safety.
And this week's Deputy on Duty, the sky is literally the limit. An up-close look at the Leon County Sheriff's Office Aviation Unit.
I've been with the Sheriff's Office a total of 34 years now. I started my first 15 years were in the Reserve Unit, and then I came to work here full-time. Most of my time has been here at Aviation. I started off in our auxiliary, what would now be our auxiliary posse, and now I'm full-time here at Aviation. Everybody here is a deputy sheriff just like everybody else, so we have to maintain all of those same criteria and certifications and training to do that. Everybody in the unit is at least a commercially rated helicopter pilot with an instrument rating on top of that also. In addition to that, the pilot part of what we do is, while that's pretty technical, the tactical flight officer, the guy that's running all the equipment, working a scene, doing all the radio work, that's one of the most technical positions at the Sheriff's Office. So that's the guy that's earning his money. And a lot of times you know what you're going to do, a lot of times you don't know what you're going to do. So it may be just respond to a missing person call or a stolen vehicle or some sort of tactical situation. A suicidal person that's walked off in the woods was one I just had last week. Or it could be working very closely with the specialty teams, our Spider team, the city VCRT, and cops. We all work very cohesively as a team, us, K-9, and those specialty teams to apprehend the really bad people that need to be apprehended. You know, what's interesting is what you might find really neat and a life-changing event to us is an everyday thing. You know, so I've been asked that question and tried to pick out one thing that kind of stands out, and here at the office it's not. Now, some things are kind of cool. So the day that we had to, out of the blue, had a Navy airplane that the pilots ejected in the middle of a swamp in Jefferson County, and we went and picked them up and took them to the hospital. Didn't know that was going to happen in the morning, so that was kind of neat. The things to me that stand out are when we find a lost child that's been missing, or an Alzheimer's patient that's walked off in the woods and been gone for a day. When we come in the middle of the night and it's cold and it's life-threatening for somebody to be outside and we've gone and found that person. To me, that means a lot, that we can make that difference, again, in a very unique way. People with dementia or autism or some spectrum like that can have a little transmitter, and we have tracking equipment. We can track that if they were to wander off in the woods or from family members or whatnot. So we have receivers on the ground that deputies can use to try to track that, but we can do it from the air also. And we, again, know from our higher vantage point, we can get more range, cover more area quicker, and oftentimes before they even get wherever the ground equipment, we can have an idea of where they are, where they can come in near their search area. What I like is that I can come to work every day and many days make a big difference in a very unique way. So a lot of people don't see what we do, they don't see us there, they don't know what we do, but we really do make a large contribution in a lot of the operations that go on every day.
In the wake of a natural disaster, it's easy to ask, what difference can one hammer make? At Toolbank, we ask, what difference can we make with a hammer? We lend hundreds of tools to help communities respond and recover after natural disasters. But these tools do more than just clean up. They help restore hope, build communities, and foster opportunities to pay it forward. At Toolbank, we believe in making a difference, one community at a time.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
In every family, small conversations can make a big impact. I grew up on tour with my parents. Kind of different, but we bonded over music and we talked. Honest conversations, like when my dad shared his experiences as an alcoholic. Your honesty gave me a sense of integrity that I wanted in my own life.
And I wanted you to know, from someone who's been in recovery more than 30 years now, that hard work is what creates success, not alcohol or other drugs, in whatever you do.
Talk, they hear you.
Some things in your medicine cabinet are more dangerous than others. When it comes to prescription drugs, opioid pain medicines can be addictive and even deadly. Half the people who misuse prescription pain medicines get them from a friend or family member. Be part of the solution. Go through your medicine cabinets, drawers, anywhere you keep unused opioid pills, patches, or syrups. Find out how to dispose of them safely. Visit fda.gov/drug disposal.
The Leon County Sheriff's Office is kicking off Leon County Today as our effort to reach the citizens of Leon County in a much more broad perspective about what we do. The Leon County Sheriff's Office is all about driving down crime in our community and making our community a safe place to live, work, and play. But perhaps the most important aspect of that crime-fighting initiative is having a partnership with the citizens of Leon County. And that's why our All In initiative is so important. We've got to get the message out to our citizens about what we're doing and how we're going about doing that so that you can be engaged and informed. One of the things we know is most important to you is the safety of your neighborhoods. While we are a county that exists of numerous neighborhoods, all of us see our neighborhoods from a personal perspective. And that's why this program will try to focus on neighborhoods and neighborhood safety, trying to get the message out to each and every one of us that we can do something in our own neighborhoods to keep ourselves and our neighbors safe. And one of those things we talk about is our All In initiative that has several components to it. One of those is obviously our focus on burglaries. The other aspect is something we call Worship With Me, that involves our churches and our religious institutions. Another is Back on Track, that focuses on our youth in our community. We need every citizen involved where you can and where you are with trying to do everything you can to assist us in driving down crime. Over the next several months and years, hopefully, this program will continue to educate and inform citizens about what we do in the Leon County Sheriff's Office to make our community a safe place for all of us to live, work, and play.
That is definitely our goal, Sheriff. So we are all in, and that's going to be a wrap for our first episode of Leon County Today.
Well, great. Thank you.
Thank you, and be sure to tune in next week for more. Have a great day, everybody.